April 1st, 2025. In the still darkness of the Red Sea, war arrived without warning. A swarm of kamikaze drones surged toward the USS Harry S. Truman, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier and symbol of American naval dominance. This wasn't just a strike, it was a declaration, a ruthless challenge aimed straight at the heart of US military pride. At exactly 2 a.m., radar picked up small objects flying from Yemen. At first, mistaken for birds or clutter, they quickly changed speed and direction, unmistakably S-MAD-E3 and KSF-1 kamikaze drones. Alarms screamed across the ship. Close-in weapon systems, CIWS, unleashed thousands of rounds per minute. Several drones were shredded in the air, but one broke through and exploded near the hull. The blast rocked the ship. Structurally intact, yes, but psychologically shaken. This was no ordinary ship. The USS Truman carries 5,000 crew members and dozens of aircraft. That a cheap hostile drone got so close exposed a chilling reality: US supremacy was not untouchable. Within 18 hours, retaliation was greenlit. At 10 p.m. on April the 2nd, America struck back. From destroyers off the coast, Tomahawk cruise missiles streaked through the sky, smashing drone depots and command hubs in Saada and Sana'a. FA-18E Super Hornets launched from Truman's deck, targeting radar stations and hangars. EA-18G Growlers jammed enemy systems, silencing their ability to respond. Overhead, B-1B Lancer bombers flown in from Qatar dropped precision-guided bombs on underground bunkers. From below, a Virginia-class submarine fired Tomahawks from the deep. Overhead, P-8 Poseidons scanned the sea for secondary threats. Within 36 hours, most of the Houthi drone infrastructure was leveled. Their UAV operations in the Red Sea were halted. But the real story wasn't just in the counterattack. It was in how the USS Truman's carrier group fought off the initial wave. When the drones closed in, the layered defense snapped into motion. Aegis combat systems aboard the USS Gravely and USS Mason picked up the threat early. SM-2 surface-to-air missiles screamed into the sky, knocking drones out before they reached the fleet. But some UAVs skimmed just above the waves, using the sea to mask their radar signature. That's when the second layer kicked in. Truman's CIWS systems, radar-guided Gatling guns, tracked and fired on targets with brutal speed. The night lit up with tracer fire. Drones were torn to pieces before reaching the ship. One managed to get dangerously close, but was vaporized by an ESSM Evolved Sea Sparrow missile within moments.
Videos believed to show two SM-2.
Above the fleet, EA-18G Growlers went to work. Using powerful electronic jamming, they blinded the drone's guidance systems. One UAV spiraled into the sea, confused and helpless. Others lost signal mid-flight and never reached their targets. When the smoke cleared, not a single ship was hit. No one was injured. All threats were neutralized not just with technology, but with training. Every radar operator, gunner, missile crew and pilot executed their role flawlessly. The US Navy had turned a deadly ambush into a masterclass in coordinated defense. But questions remained. How could cheap drones bypass modern warships? And what does that mean for the future of naval warfare? The truth is, warfare has evolved. Small, agile, low-cost drones are rewriting the rules of combat. Groups like the Houthis now pose serious threats without needing fleets or aircraft. The Pentagon responded immediately, reviewing ship defenses and accelerating development of non-kinetic tools like lasers and high-powered microwaves. In fact, even before the April attack, ships like the USS Gravely had already proven they could bring down drones using electronic jamming alone, no bullets, no missiles. That shift marks a revolution in naval doctrine. Drones can now be stopped silently, efficiently, and at low cost, a critical advantage in prolonged conflict. During the counterstrike, this hybrid doctrine proved itself. Over 30 targets were hit in less than 2 days. A suspected UAV command center in Saada was annihilated by B-1B bombers. Signals intelligence confirmed panic among Houthi leadership. Submarines added pressure from the deep. Allies like the UK and France joined with radar and intelligence support, underscoring the importance of coalition defense. By the end of the operation, Houthi drone activity in the region had ceased entirely. For days, the skies were silent. But the strike did more than destroy drones. It restored credibility. It showed the world that even in the face of asymmetric threats, America responds with unmatched speed, precision, and power. Strategically, this was a turning point. The Truman Strike Group's flawless defense, followed by a surgical counterattack, sent a clear message: if you touch a US carrier, you invite destruction. It reaffirmed America's role as the guardian of the Red Sea, a trade artery where trillions of dollars in goods pass annually. And it reminded allies and enemies alike, the US will never let chaos rule the seas. This battle wasn't just about weapons. It was about message morale and deterrence. It demonstrated that naval superiority isn't just about firepower, it's about adaptability, coordination, and resolve. Every part of the operation, from SM-2s in the sky to electromagnetic jamming and multinational intelligence, worked in harmony. To America's rivals, the meaning is simple. The age of invincibility may be over, but the age of dominance is not. Attack a US carrier, and you won't just face retaliation, you'll face the full weight of a global military giant ready to fight across air, sea, and spectrum. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more frontline insights from Military Cipher.